Very good morning, children, and welcome to the next class. I hope everyone is safe at your family. Please do take care. So let's start the new chapter, that is federalism. What do you mean by federalism? Actually, federal means agreement. Agreements between the two levels of the government. Central level, state level, and here in India, the third level, that is local government. So let's start the chapter. So what is federal system? Federalism is a system of government in which power is shared between central government and the other units of administration. Other units means state government or local government. Federalism usually has two levels of administration, but some of the countries have more than two levels. As in India, I have given you the example, each level manages and makes the law for own territory. Each level of government enjoys their power independent to the others. State government is not subordinate to the central government, and they both are answerable to the people only. Now, what is unitary system? Here, from the name itself, it is very clear that central government has an authority to do. In this form of administration, there is only one level of government. If there are more subunits, they are subordinate to the central government. If they are having more subunit, they are totally answerable to the central government, and central government has a full authority. Now, here central government passes on the orders to other levels of government. Other levels of government are subordinate to central government. So, we have seen this, the unitary government in this central government is having own their power, and they are, state government is totally answerable to the central government. Here, let's see the features of the federalism. 7 features are there of the federalism. First feature, as I have already cleared you, that there are 2 or more levels of government and the agreement between them. Each level has its own jurisdiction. Levels has been, the jurisdiction, that means subjects, has been divided from the constitution only. Each level jurisdiction is specified. Specified means that in the constitution they are totally guaranteed and legally authorized. Fundamental of the constitution cannot be changed by the central level itself. If any change, fundamental means basic. If any changes are there in the constitution, the decision cannot be unilaterally taken by the central government only. Both the government, that means central government and the state government, has an authority to take the decision. Court work as an umpire. So court here work as an umpire. It takes the decision in the disputes of different levels. Revenue, whatever the disputes are there, the authority is in the hands of the court. They give the judgment. Revenue sources for each level are specified. Whatever the revenues are there, it is specified in the constitution. Federalism has 2 objectives. It has a few objectives, that is safeguard and promote the national unity, accommodation of regional diversity. Safeguard and promote the national unity means, as in India, many languages we used to speak, there is a unity in our country. So, accommodation of regional diversity also, meanwhile we are maintaining the national unity and we are maintaining the accommodation of regional diversity also. So, there is a unity in diversity. Now, types of federation. This is the types of federation. Coming together, from the name itself very clear that independent states come together and form a bigger unit. Here state means a country. Independent states come together and form a bigger unit. It helps to maintain security and sovereignty. They pool together to make the sovereignty, to make the security of themselves. Each state is equally strong, but their sovereignty is not interfered. Nobody, international matter is interfering. They just came together for their security purpose. The countries are USA, Switzerland and Australia. So here I hope the coming together is very clear to you. Now come to the next topic, that is holding together. Holding together, countries divided into states for better administration. It refers to the big country like India is divided into states for better administration. It helps for accommodation of diversity. It helps for the accommodation of diversity. Some states might be given more power. The ultimate power lies in the hands of the central government. Some states are given more power. As you know, Jammu Kashmir earlier has been given more power. They have their own constitution. but it has been taken right now. But India, Spain and Belgium is an example of that. So here central government is more powerful in holding together. Now what makes India a federal country? This is a very important question. What makes India a federal country? So as we have read about the 7 features of the federalism, so this could be done in that also. Division of powers. That means division of powers are there. Some states are given more powers. Written constitution. In India there is a written constitution. Long constitution is there. Union territory, jurisdiction and levels of the government. So what is union list, state list, concurrent list and residuary subjects? In the constitution all the lists are written. Union list, subjects on which only central government makes the law: defense, foreign affairs, currency and combination. As I have told you, the subject related to the whole country, that is defense, foreign affairs, military, all the decisions are taken by the major decisions are taken by the central government only. State list, subjects on which state government can make laws: police, trade, agriculture, irrigation, commerce. The state are taking their own decisions. So as you know, CBSE board, whatever the examinations are going, whatever the decisions regarding that, state has taken the separate decisions. Now concurrent list, subjects on which both level can make laws, but at the end the law made by central government. In the concurrent list, both the government can take the decision, but if the dispute occurs, the central government has authority to give the decision. Residuary subjects, subjects which newly added in the list after the constitution was written, and central government only has a right to make the laws. Residuary, that time the computer software hardware was not there, but later on this subject has been added to that. That is the reason it is known as residuary subject. So how federalism is practiced in India? Linguistic state. The first challenge faced after independence was linguistic state. So India has faced this challenge. New states were formed on the basis of language and culture. While we are making our constitution, the partition was there and India was in a turmoil. So the challenge we have faced, that to form the base, new states were formed on the basis of language, as Jawaharlal Nehru has also promised that. Some states were formed on the basis of ethnicity, but some states were formed on the basis of ethnicity, geographical areas like Nagaland, Uttarakhand and Jharkhand. Some were concerned that it might lead to disintegration of the nation, but what worked well and effective. Some thought that due to that the country will be disintegrated, but the country was not disintegrated, it get united. Some people speak Hindi, more safeguards are provided to it. But there are other 21 scheduled languages. State can enjoy its own language for official purposes. We are not imposing Hindi on anyone. We have adopted 3 language structure and any 2 language can be used for administration purpose. Flexibility in languages help India to avoid the situation like Sri Lanka. As you know, Sri Lanka, they have imposed the Sinhala language, and what was the end? There was a civil war. But flexibility in languages help in India to avoid the situation like Sri Lanka. As you know, in Sri Lanka, there was a civil war. Why? Because they have imposed the Sinhala language on Tamilians. So this was not the condition of India, because they have given respect to all the religion and the languages. Now how federalism is practiced? Center and state relationship. It helped a lot to avoid clashes between central and state. When same political party ruling in central and state could enjoy more power, as central government could not influence the decision of the state. So you can see the central is having authority, but state is having a full authority also. They are not, state is not dependent on the central government. They both enjoy the independency, and state government is not subordinate to the state government, central government, and they can take their own decision. Now when saying in 1990, many regional parties came up and acquired the power in state. Thus more independent decisions were taken by states and federal system was practiced. Before 1990, there was always a central government has a more power, but after 1990, the state has been recognized and we have a more power. Today, these regional political parties are even affecting the decision making in central also. So we can say that today's power sharing is more effective. It was practiced in the early days when constitution was written. So we can see here the central and state relationship. Now what is decentralization? This is very important point. Decentralization, from the word itself very clear, when the power is taken away from central and given to other levels of government is called decentralization. It plays very important role in democracy. When the power is taken away from the central government, that means central government power is diluted and given to other, and it plays very important role in democracy. It helps to reduce the burden of the central government, and though when the power is shared, the burden is reduced. It helps to increase the participation of people in democratic process. More and more people used to participate. It helps to solve local problems effectively. Whatever the local problem is there, local government is there and they are solving their problems. Local self-government is called the schools of democracy. Now decentralization in India. How local self-government has been given more power. The Act was passed in 1992 to empower the third level. So this is a very important question. 1992. Regular election was there after 1992. Regular elections was there. Reservation of ST and ST has given importance. 1/3 reservation given to women. 1/3 of the reservation given to women. States were made financial to eligible. Separate state election commission was formed. So these all the elections are mandatory, and these all are the structure of local self-government. Now Zilla Parishad, Block Samiti, Village Panchayat. Zilla Parishad, it is at district level, the political head is called Zilla Parishad Chairman. It contains the member elected by Block Samiti. Block Samiti, Panchayat Samiti, it is a block. The political head is called Panchayat Samiti. It contains the member elected by village panchayat. Village panchayat is at every village or consisting the group of 2 or 3 villages together. It contains the members elected by villagers. The political head of the village is called the Sarpanch. The most important committee in the village is Gram Sabha. So this is the structure of the local government. Urban self-government, municipality, municipal corporation. So municipality, it is at lower level. It contains the members elected by the citizen of the town. In the town it has been done. Municipal corporation, it is a city level. It contains the member elected by the citizen of the city. The political head of the municipal corporation is mayor. So mayor is the political head. Deficiencies of local government. Financial need has not been satisfied. Whatever the state local government need, the state or the central is not giving that. Irregular meetings are there. Women inactive participant. 1/3 reservation is quota is given for the women, but that is not done. Elections are not mandatory over there. So we have seen the deficiencies, but this new system of local government is the largest experiment in democracy conducted anywhere in the world. There are now about 36 lakh elected representatives, and this constitutional status for the local government has helped to deepen the democracy in our country. So it has increased women representation of voice, but still we have long path to go. We are thus still a long way from realizing the ideals of the self-government. So I hope the chapter is clear to you. Thank you so much. Let's see the assignment of the chapter.